Welcome crawlers to Dungeon Crawler Carl Pinball by Multimorphic. Today we'll be taking a look at some gameplay from book 1, but the game will feature content from at least the first 7 books in the series. The skill shot is a combo sequence. We will only see the first shot of it today, but you will notice on the screen the animation that would show you and lead you to the next shot in the sequence. And if you can hear by that call out, you could probably guess the character that our skill shot is themed after. Up next, we have our Ralph the Frenzied Gerbil boss battle. Battle's already been qualified. We hit the start straight up the center to that magnet grab. Very similar to how in the books it says when boss battles start that time stops or time freezes and the intro plays and then everything restarts. That's what we've got going on here with this magnet grab. We then accelerate the ball as if time never stopped it to begin with. And we're into our boss battle. All of our boss battles are very narrative driven. There's features and shots around the playfield that represent characters and places, and all of our battles are trying to represent and recreate exactly how the events transpired in the books while still being fun to play from a pinball perspective. That right there was Ralph exploding out of a Danger Dingo's head with our cannon in the top right of the playfield. We've now stunned Ralph and we've got to stomp him. And we stomp by hitting our disc cannon, the other cannon that's in the game. Yes, we have 2 cannons. And that's the Ralph battle. Here we have our first cast of the game. The game comes with an entire casting system. You build mana by shooting the 4 mana targets at the top of the playfield. And then you can spend those to cast spells, scrolls, and such. This particular one is Donut's Magic Missile, which is a physical shot spotting mechanic. Next is the Ball of Swine boss battle. One of my personal favorites, and I suspect one of the reasons why author and creator Matt Denneman called this game unhinged. There's nothing quite like it in pinball.
Here it comes.
So, as the narrative events of the game, you've got the Royal Court of Princess Donut and the Meadowlark team. They are trying to stab and damage the Ball of Swine with low-powered weapons and items, trying to get enough damage onto it so that they have the time they need to build their wedge, and then wedge the ball and finish it off. So that's what we've got going on here. We've got this first phase where they're just trying to survive and put damage on the Ball of Swine. Once you get enough hits on the pink-lit targets at the upper playfield, then the hole up in the middle that is our safe room and other indoor areas will open, and that is then allowing them to make the wedge, place it, and trap the Ball of Swine, which then starts our second phase, which we're about to get into. Alright, so now we're in phase 2, and the Ball of Swine is trapped and wedged, and we're just bashing it. Every member of Royal Court of Princess Donut and the Meadowlark team, they're just doing every bit of damage that they can until the Ball of Swine breaks apart.
That hurt it. One more stab.
And the Ball of Swine is dead.
Oink oink, motherfuckers.
Up next, we have a look at the Hoarder boss battle. So it's already qualified. We're hitting it up the middle to start. I will point out that all these boss battle intros can be double flipped or blown away so that you don't have to sit through them every time if you don't want. But with how good Jeff Hayes is, I don't know why you wouldn't.
Use that chain. Wrap it around.
So as the narrative events of the story, they have to wrap a chain around the Hoarder. They do 3 wraps. We have 2 loops on the game, the disc loop and the upper flipper loop. If you hit either one of those a total of 3 times, that's phase 1 complete. Next, the side ramp to jump off her back. And now we need to pull her down, so we're hitting either the front target or the side rebound rubber target on the disc 3 times again to pull her to the ground.
You've almost got her.
And once she is on the ground, we need to finish her off and do a final blow. There is a target. It's hard to see on this overhead view from the cameras, but in a player view, it is much easier to see. So there in the left side of the playfield, about halfway up, you can see the edges of a yellow insert flashing. There's a target back there, which just was hit to finish her off. Next, we're taking a look at Clockwork Triplicate Multiball. This is a modifier of Mongo Multiball. Normally, Mongo Multiball is a 2-ball multiball, but in this case, if you have enough mana, then you can spend it to cast the Clockwork Triplicate spell on Mongo. So we've already got 1 ball locked in Mongo, and we're just hitting the visor to prime the multi-ball start, but instead of starting it by hitting it again as a 2-ball, we're going to get the ball on the left, cast, and Clockwork Triplicate. We do release balls from 3 different places. One of those includes the cannon that you just saw fire. So you can't be complacent. Always be ready in the dungeon. Everything is always trying to get you.
Who's mommy's best boy?
So this Mongo Multiball is a jackpot build and collect. So you hit shots to build it, collect at the Mongo ring.
Sick 'em! Mongo is a pole!
Up to this point, we've been highlighting individual boss battles, but to give players the ability to control their own path and increase the fun, we allow bosses to be played in any order, including to be stacked. So what you're seeing here is we've got a 4-stack boss battle going. This stack includes the Goblin Murder Dozer, the Juicer, Crackheron, and Ball of Swine.
Nice shot!
In particular, the Juicer and Ball of Swine have some physical obstacles that they put in the player's way. Obviously, Ball of Swine has that disc and the wall, and then the Juicer, he raises some scoop walls, the ones that are unlit. That represents the weights that he's throwing at you that you have to dodge. So you need to dodge those shots that he's blocking with weights. And then Crackheron is blocking you somewhat virtually. Her tentacles are covering up shots. You can't make progress on those shots until you hit one of the tentacle shots to retract it, and then you're able to make progress on that shot until the tentacle comes back.
Is there anybody in there? What do you want?
So to be successful in these stacked battles, you have to plan ahead. So getting your mana up, spelling heal on the right side to get your healing potions qualified and leveled up. Planning is always a great idea going into these. Here we're showing off our second cast, which is Fireball or Custard. Custard would give you a slight healing effect. Fireball is a shotgun where whatever the next shot you hit, it will spot you that and the 2 shots to the left and right. And that is a first look at the gameplay for Dungeon Crawler Carl Pinball by Multimorphic. I hope you enjoyed it. See you all at shows soon, and play more pinball.